In his hands, he's got the whole wide world in his hands. This recording is being done within just an hour 15 minutes of WWE Extreme Rules 2022 going off the air. This is my immediate reaction to what we saw tonight. Finally finding out what all of that White Rabbit QR code feed your head stuff was all about. It was, as many of us thought, the return of Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. Bray Wyatt, the original Bray Wyatt from 9 years ago. Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out soon. But we do know Bray Wyatt is back in WWE. What a return it was. What a fun, entertaining show Extreme Rules was, in my opinion. It was nice to see an Extreme Rules show that actually had extreme stipulations for all the matches instead of just one. That was very nice. Quick rundown of the show before we talk about Bray Wyatt. I thought the opener was a lot of fun. I had a feeling it would be match of the night, and it very well may have been. The Brawling Brutes against Imperium in the old-fashioned Donnybrook match. I love these two teams. I love Gunther, and I love Imperium. And this is the most interesting Sheamus has been probably ever. He is having a career renaissance. Good for him. I just loved this match. I thought it was such a great opener. Chaos, tornado, not even tag. I can't even say tag because nobody tagged anybody. It was just chaos. 6 men going crazy, beating the daylights out of each other. And there is something special between Sheamus and Gunther. It is like so... Like when those two get together, the fans just come to life. There is so much more to explore with those two. I hope they have another match for the IC title down the road. But this was great. I thought that Butch looked great. I thought that all of Imperium looked great. This was such a brutal, fun wrestling match, and I enjoyed it. And the right team won. Brawling Brutes had to win, because they have been losing a good bit. They needed a win, especially after Sheamus lost last night on SmackDown, so good for them. The second match was Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan in an Extreme Rules match for the SmackDown Women's title. Mixed feelings from a lot of people on this match. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was sloppy and ugly in parts, but if there's anybody who can get away with having a sloppy, ugly match, it is Ronda Rousey. It actually suits her more so than anybody else. And I thought that Liv losing the title, a lot of people aren't going to like that. I thought it was kind of cool with her passing out with a smile on her face. I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe you disagree, but I thought that was cool. Ronda having the title, I don't hate it. I think Liv's, if this was still the former people running the company, I would be a little worried about Liv Morgan. But since there's new people in charge, I'm sure Liv is going to be fine. She's well liked by the crowd. I think she's better as a chaser of the title than a holder of the title. So I'm fine with Ronda being champion. I liked their match. It was sloppy, it was ugly, but it worked for who was in it. Drew and Karrion Kross in the strap match. This was probably my least favorite match of the night. It wasn't terrible, but I may be alone. I may be in the minority. I may be the only one. I'm having a hard time getting into Karrion Kross. I'm just having a hard time. I don't get it. I don't get the whole I'm going to change the timeline of WWE. I don't know what that means. I don't understand what that means. He keeps coming out with the hourglass and the TikTok thing, and he has a really cool entrance, and he's this dark, brooding guy. I don't understand what his motivation is. I don't know why he's doing the things he's doing. I don't know what changing the timeline of WWE means. There's a disconnect for me, so I have trouble getting into his matches. Hopefully that will change over time. Drew's great, and I thought the match was fine, but it was probably the weakest of the night. I hated the finish with Scarlett spraying Drew with mace and then, Karrion getting the pin. I don't like the finish, so this match probably my least favorite of the night. It wasn't bad, and hopefully they can do a little better job telling the story of Karrion Kross and why he does the things that he does. Bianca Belair and Bayley in a ladder match for the Raw Women's title. Enjoyed it. I thought it was... I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. There were parts where I was scared to death for the safety of both of these women. There was one part where Bayley tore off a metal piece of her brace with a big smirk, like she was going to use it, and then she just didn't. And Corey Graves was like, why didn't she use it? I don't know what was going on there. Bianca had no friends tonight because Asuka and Alexa got hurt on Raw, and so they weren't there. So it was 3-on-1 because Dakota and Io came out, and I was like, what's going to happen here? Like, Bayley's going to win the title because she's got the numbers game. And then Bianca just beat up all three of them and won. So I don't know where Damage Control goes from here. I don't know who Bianca faces next. But it was 3-on-1, and she beat up all three of them and won. So I don't know where you go from there. I love Bianca. I personally thought it made more sense for Bayley to win tonight. But obviously they have other things in mind. Bianca's still the champion. The KOD on the ladder, that was a brutal spot to end the match. And Bayley looked like she might have been busted open afterwards. But Bianca retains the title. That's cool. Edge and Finn Balor, I Quit match. Started off slow. To me, I Quit matches always start off a little slow because it's like beat down, beat down, beat down, beat down. Do you quit? No. Beat down, beat down, beat down, beat down. Do you quit? No. It's like it starts a little slow. But I was thoroughly sports entertained by the time this thing was over. All of the Judgment Day running down, their booking under Triple H, they have benefited from him being around probably more than anybody because they were like just not working before he took over the creative control. And now they are definitely in a much better place. They all came down. Ray came down. They handcuffed Edge. Ray got thrown to the post by Son. Michael Cole was fantastic. Hold on, buddy. My dog's trying to get in here. Michael Cole was great in this match. If anybody has benefited more than the Judgment Day, it's Michael Cole. He is having a career renaissance at the commentary table. Hey, hold on, bud. I thought that Edge being handcuffed, Beth Phoenix coming in, the showdown with Rhea was great. I thought the ending, tons of heat for the Judgment Day. They threatened to give the concerto to Beth, so Edge quits, and then they just give her the concerto anyway. Such a villainous thing to do. And so now you have more story to tell with the Judgment Day and Ray and Dominic and Edge, and now Beth Phoenix is going to be involved. I'm actually interested in the Judgment Day for probably the first time ever, although I still like Karrion Kross. I don't know what their motivations are. Also, Edge is awesome. Edge is awesome. Can we take a moment to appreciate the fact he was retired for 9 years and he's coming back, and every match he has is like top-notch greatness. Good for him. Thought this was probably my second favorite match of the night behind the opener. All throughout the night there was weird stuff with The Miz and Dexter Lumis, which you can imagine how that went. Okay, then we had the main event. Riddle, Rollins in the fight pit. Cool seeing the fight pit on the main roster for the first time. Thought this match probably was a little bit underwhelming to me, considering how intense that feud has been up until now. But they went up top, and Rollins gave him a pedigree on the top thing, and then he gave Rollins an RKO. Back and forth we go. And then he gave him the floating bro from the top of the cage. That was a great spot. That looked really cool. And then Riddle submitted him. I thought the ending came out of nowhere. It was a little like, oh, okay, well, he tapped out. It was cool because like Rollins was trying to get out of it and just failed, and he had nowhere to go, so Riddle won. But still, it kind of felt like this match needed another like 3 or 4 minutes to really take off, and it didn't get it. So Riddle wins, and then they put up the graphic like the show was over, and I was like, there's no way that we're going to end like that. And then, of course, he's got the whole world in his hands, rang out in the building. All the characters from the Funhouse are in the audience. We get images from the Firefly Funhouse. It is abandoned. It is, like, destroyed. They're all gone from the Funhouse. They've all come to, like, real life here in the arena. There's a door in the middle of the entranceway. It burst open. Somebody comes out in a creepy mask with a lantern. We all know who that is. He takes the mask off. It is indeed Bray Wyatt. People went nuts. People went ballistic. And he said something to the camera, but the people were screaming so loud I couldn't tell what it was. I think it was "Let Me In," maybe. And then no music played or anything. He just posed with the lantern, and it faded to black. So we know Bray Wyatt is here. We don't know what variation of Bray Wyatt we're going to get. Fiend, original Wyatt, the Fireflies and all of that stuff. Who knows? I tell you, when they went off the air, they played the classic Bray Wyatt sound effect that he had 9 years ago. You know the one. I don't know how to possibly imitate it. Like, that's the best way I can imitate it. It was the classic Bray Wyatt sound effect with a Firefly graphic on the screen. Bray Wyatt's back. I don't know who he's going to be feuding with. I don't know what he's going to be doing. I guarantee it'll be something different than anybody else on the show, and that's cool. The Fiend will probably be around sometimes. It'll probably be like a special attraction. But the Firefly Funhouse characters are like in the world now. They've left the Funhouse. They're like in the universe. And so how's that going to play in? There's a lot of questions, but we do know Bray Wyatt's back. He got a huge pop. Of course it's good to see Bray Wyatt back. He is a creative somebody, and he is going to probably have more liberty to do some creative things under the new regime. I'm glad to see Bray Wyatt back. I hope we get to see the Fiend at times. I think before we were getting a little too much Fiend to where it was like losing its gusto. So now I think we could maybe use the Fiend in different moments, maybe for the big shows and the big matches. And maybe we get a taste of the original Bray Wyatt 2 in the rocking chair with the lantern. I'm excited about Bray Wyatt being back. Enjoyable show overall. A big title change with Ronda. Really good opener. Bianca Belair was really good. So this is a good show. You can tell Triple H, he treats these pay-per-view live event things like they're important. They are something to behold. And he gets a thumbs up from me for that. What did you think of Extreme Rules? Favorite match, least favorite match? And how do you feel about old Bray being back on the scene? Let me know. Everybody have a good night. Take it in, soak it up. Bye, everybody.